In today's music world, becoming famous can happen really fast, but staying famous can be super hard. Let's talk about why this happens and why people say that Ice Spice might be starting to fall off. First, what does it even mean when people say that a rapper or an artist is falling off? Basically, it means that someone who was once really popular is starting to lose that popularity. Their songs might not be doing as well on the charts, their social media followers might stop engaging as much, and they might not even be in the spotlight as often. In simple terms, their fame is fading away. It's almost like they're not as cool or talked about as they used to be. The music industry today is a lot different from how it was in the past. Thanks to social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, someone can become super famous overnight. All it takes is for one song or video to go viral, and suddenly everyone is talking about them. That's exactly how Ice Spice got famous. Her song Munch blew up on TikTok, and within days, people all over the world knew who she was. But here's the problem: while social media can make someone famous quickly, it can also make them lose that fame just as fast. Why? Because people's attention spans are shorter now. New trends, songs, and artists are constantly popping up. If you don't keep giving people something fresh and exciting, they might move on to the next big thing. That's why it's common to hear about artists falling off after only a few months or years of being in the spotlight. In the past, it took longer for artists to get famous, but it also took longer for them to lose that fame. Ice Spice isn't the only one who might be going through this. Other rappers and singers have also experienced fast rises and their quick declines in their careers. One example is The Baby. He had a few huge hits like Rockstar and Bop, but after a few couple years, people started losing interest in his music. Even though he was everywhere for a while, his new songs didn't do as well, and he wasn't popular anymore. This is happening to a lot of artists these days because the music industry is so competitive. There are always new artists trying to make a name for themselves, and that makes it hard for someone to stay on top for a long time. What about Ice Spice? Some people are saying that she might be in the danger of falling off because her music is starting to sound the same, and she isn't keeping her fans as excited as they were when she first blew up. Even though she has big collaborations with artists like Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift, some people think she's not doing enough to keep her place in the spotlight. However, it's important to remember that falling off doesn't always mean the end of someone's career. Some artists manage to bounce back after a rough patch, and others might reinvent themselves by trying new styles or collaborating with different artists. For Ice Spice, only time will tell if she can keep her fans excited and stay relevant in the music world. People have been talking a lot about Ice Spice's music. Some say her songs are like fast food music. This means they think her music is quick and easy, like grabbing a burger at a fast food place. They say it's kind of the same every time and doesn't really have a lot of deep meaning. This is a big deal because when people think music is just fast food, it might not be seen as important or special. At first, Ice Spice's music was really popular. But as time went on, some people started to think her songs sounded a bit repetitive or the same over and over and over again. This can happen when an artist doesn't try new things or mix up their style. When songs start to sound too similar, fans might get bored and lose interest. If Ice Spice's music keeps sounding the same and doesn't change much, there's a risk that her popularity might go down. This is because people might get tired of hearing the same kind of music. If the songs become predictable and don't offer something new, it might lead to fewer people being interested in her music over time. A big part of why Ice Spice became so popular was because of her image. She focused a lot on how she looked, especially her body. People were talking about her style and appearance, and this caught a lot of eyes. Her physical appearance, along with her social media presence, played a huge role in getting her noticed. People talked about Ice Spice's sex appeal. How attractive she seems to many people was a big factor in her rise to fame. She used social media to show off her style and personality, which helped her get even more attention. Social media is a powerful tool, and Ice Spice used it very effectively to grow her popularity. At first, Ice Spice was riding a wave of popularity, with lots of people streaming her music on platforms like Spotify. But recently, her monthly listeners have dropped a lot. This means that fewer people are listening to her music compared to before. For an artist who was once gaining a lot of attention, This decrease is a sign that her popularity might be fading. Ice Spice's debut album was highly anticipated, with fans pre-ordering it for 10 months before it finally released. However, when the album came out, it only sold about 28,000 copies. While this might seem like a big number, it's considered pretty low for an artist backed by a major record label. Record labels expect their artists to sell a lot of albums, especially after building up so much hype. Selling just 28,000 copies was disappointing for someone like Ice Spice, who had a lot of support and promotion behind her. The decline in popularity for artists like Ice Spice and DaBaby highlights a larger issue in the music industry. The music industry can sometimes treat artists like trends. When an artist is new and exciting, they receive a lot of support and attention from labels, social media, and fans. But as soon as the excitement fades or their music starts to sound repetitive, the industry can move on to the next big thing just as fast. This quick rise and fall can be tough for artists who are trying to build lasting careers. Now, a big story surrounding Ice Spice right now is about her tour and how she allegedly mistreated another rapper named Cleotrapa, who was invited to join her as an opening act. Cleo claims that Ice Spice gave her almost no time to prepare for the tour, only giving her 1 day's notice before it started. This meant Cleo had to scramble to get everything ready on such short notice, which was really stressful for her. Cleotrapa also says that she wasn't given enough support during the tour. Normally, when an artist invites someone to join their tour, they help with important things like accommodations, meals, and other needs. But Cleo says that Ice Spice didn't offer her much support at all. She claims that she felt left out and neglected throughout the tour by both Ice Spice and her team. One of Cleo's biggest complaints was about when she had to perform. She says that Ice Spice made her perform before the official show even started, which meant the crowd wasn't really there yet. This made Cleo feel like she wasn't being treated as a real part of the tour and was just used being to fill time. She felt disrespected and like her talents weren't appreciated. Cleo believes that Ice Spice didn't invite her on the tour out of kindness or to genuinely support her career. Instead, she thinks Ice Spice only asked her to come along to make herself look good and boost her own image. In Cleo's eyes, she was used as a way for Ice Spice to gain more publicity, rather than getting real help or support from someone she thought she could be a mentor. Things got even worse when Ice Spice allegedly stopped communicating with Cleo halfway through the tour. According to Cleo, Ice Spice completely cut off contact, leaving her feeling abandoned. This lack of communication made Cleo feel even more excluded and unsupported. The drama didn't stop there. Cleotrapa also made a shocking claim that Ice Spice used her debit card to buy expensive designer items without our permission. Cleo says that Ice Spice took advantage of her and used her money, which added to all the other mistreatment she felt during the tour. After all the drama with Cleotrapa, Ice Spice finally responded to the allegations, but it wasn't in the way many people expected. Instead of addressing the serious claims made by Cleo, Ice Spice took to a Twitter space, which is like a live room chat on Twitter, and made fun of Cleo. She joked about Cleo eating too much during the tour. Didn't sit well with a lot of people. Many thought it was insensitive for Ice Spice to joke about Cleo's eating habits, especially when Cleo was talking about how she felt mistreated and disrespected during the tour. Instead of clearing things up or apologizing, Ice Spice's comments seemed to make the situation worse. By mocking Cleo in such a public way, Ice Spice fueled even more controversy. Fans who were already upset with how Cleo was treated felt that Ice Spice wasn't taking any responsibility for her actions. This only deepened the divide between those who supported Cleo and those who sided with Ice Spice. We also collected from sources how Ice Spice has been accused of having a large ego, despite only being in the spotlight for such a short amount of time. Some people believe that Ice Spice's quick rise to fame may have gotten to her head, causing her to act entitled and dismissive of others, like Cleotrapa. The way she handled the tour allegations only seemed to make these accusations worse, with more and more fans feeling like Ice Spice isn't as humble as they once thought. Around the same time, there were also rumors swirling about Ice Spice's possible weight loss. Some fans noticed that she looked slimmer and started speculating that she might be using weight loss drugs. This kind of gossip added another layer to the already growing controversy. Instead of addressing the rumors directly, Ice Spice posted a workout video online to show that her weight loss was due to exercise. However, this didn't completely stop the rumors from spreading, and many fans were still left wondering what the truth was. The concern right now is whether Ice Spice can keep up her fame, or if she might start to lose popularity soon. A lot of artists who get famous really fast have a hard time staying in the spotlight. While Ice Spice quickly became a big name in music, especially thanks to her viral hits, we wonder if she has what it takes to stay relevant for a long time. Especially when you're facing backlash from fans and former friends. We have reasons to believe that Ice Spice might be heading down a similar path where her initial fame starts to fade and she struggles to keep the attention of her audience. So, what's in Ice Spice's future? It's uncertain. Right now, she's still popular, but if she doesn't handle her controversies well, or if her music doesn't evolve, she could have a tough time staying in the spotlight. Fans are already starting to notice the drama around her, and if she doesn't find a way to address these issues and keep releasing hits, her career could take a downward turn. This raises a big question. Will Ice Spice find a way to overcome these challenges and continue to grow her career? Or will she end up like other artists who couldn't keep up with the pressure?